and, well, this is going to be an absolute banger. How you doing, by the way, Some Drunk Canadian?
I am doing well, even though it is 4 o'clock in the morning for us here in Vancouver.
Yeah, it's not quite sunny Vancouver yet, but the weather on Berlingrad could not be better. What do you think about these two players? They are both phenomenal. Of course, Clem, a youngster relatively new to the scene. Solar, he's been around a little bit longer.
Yeah, no, Solar's a veteran of the scene. He's been, I believe he's been around since just about launch of the game. As you mentioned, Clem is someone that we've seen really dominate the scene in the last year, but has been on the scene for the last few years and making waves. So really excited to see what we get out of these two players here. Totally honest here, I am a bit of a Solar fanboy here.
Yeah, me too. It's hard not to love him. He works so hard. He's been the bad luck Brian of StarCraft 2, hasn't he? He's just kind of had a rough go in a lot of things. It feels like he should have won a Premier tournament by now. And I gotta ask, is this going to be the time? Is this going to be the one that finally allows him to do it? That's going to be a storyline we're going to be following throughout this, as he ended up in a pretty tough group. Very tough group, honestly.
Yeah, this is, I would argue, actually all 4 groups are pretty much a group of death, but this one is one of them for sure.
We're already seeing something a little bit interesting here, kind of a Korean-style opener of ZVT. Dark likes to do this, a couple other players like to do this. You get that extra set of Zerglings. It kind of helps you ensure you don't take any damage from the Reaper, and it's a big respect move. And usually we only see Korean players do it against someone like maybe a Maru or a Cure, another Korean player. To do it against a foreigner, that's a big statement.
Exactly. And it's especially a foreigner like Clem, who is relatively young. He does get talked down quite a bit by the Koreans, from what I've seen, like many of the other foreigners. So, it's interesting to see Solar here playing it safe.
Oh, and a nice snipe on that group team right there. And you talk about respect, and you talk about earning respect. It's those little moves right there that are going to earn it, and going to earn it by force. If Clem says, if you don't respect me going into this series, you're going to respect me coming out of it. First 2 Hellions are going to show up here. We do have a Cloaked Banshee build. Nothing too surprising right there. It's a pretty good way to play. Berlingrad, relatively small map. You're going to want those safety Banshees as well. Provides aggressive options, provides defensive options. It's a good thing to have all around. Solar going for that delayed Ling speed build. Nothing the matter there. Very, very expected value from both players. It's going to be shaping up into the mid game. That's when we're going to see, some differences start to appear. 3rd command center dropped on the low ground. Once again, no big surprises.
Yeah, we got Cloak Banshees coming out. I think you mentioned that. Is that a 3rd base coming up for Clem as well? Pretty quick here. Stim about a quarter of the way done. This OV is going to try to come in, get a little scout out. We'll see that 4th barracks, I believe it is, or 3rd barracks going up there. And should give him the clue that this is going to be bioplay coming out from our French Terran here.
Yeah, we might see Clem try and go for a bit of a run by here. No, he's going to play a little bit conservatively. I think the European scene, for the most part, has kind of deviated away from that big Hellion YOLO. It used to be quite a dominant play. Now the Spore Crawler a little bit late in the natural expansion, going to cost Solar 2 drones. That's a nice little freebie pickoff right there, and that's maybe some opening match nerves coming in from Solar a little bit. Wow, that's actually quite a bit of damage. 5 drones already.
Yeah, 5 drones going down for this day in the game. That is pretty critical damage. Solar, in my experience, from what I've seen in the past, he is a player that generally does tend to get up ahead really early. If he has some of that early damage, it does seem to kind of hamper him. He does trip over some of those hurdles. But if he does get out early, pretty much the only thing stopping him will be a nuke.
That's the classic meme right there. Solar, you know, it's the one thing he's got going for him. Romanticide no longer in the map pool. Doesn't have to worry about that. That's an important thing for him. An important thing.
So another 9 drones going down there. These Banshees just continue to be a little bit of a nuisance. The Queens doing their best to keep them at bay. But Clem just multitasking. Baneling speed now starting on up. +1 Carapace coming up as well. Another 2 barracks coming down. And also getting that nice pick off on the Banshee there. And these Hellions just going to rotate around. 10 drones going down so far this game at the 6-minute mark.
Yeah, it's a pretty substantial amount of damage to start things off. Clem doing an excellent job of picking off creep, and that's going to open things up for this early stimmed bio push. That push that comes around the 7:30 mark with 1-1 with combat shields. And by specifically on this map, by cutting that creep spread down, you're creating a lot of really dangerous siege tank positions that are off of creep. And now we're going to see a big move forward. Bane speed not quite done. That Baneling nest is actually very exposed. A lot of creep going to get picked off, and the Queens are a little bit exposed. Solar's in some big trouble right here in this game number 1.
The Queens are transfused, but the Banelings are kind of dripping behind. The Queens are not able to get to the front lines. So Clem is able to pick off a few of those Banelings. The tank in the back doing quite a bit of work. First Queen finally going down. The Baneling speed finishing up. Gonna come crashing in. Clem will back off. Tank does go down, and this is somewhat held for now. But he's morphing in more Banes now. I don't think he has any Banes left right now. He's gonna have to use these Queens to hold this push.
Yeah, and now those surviving Hellions going to morph into Hellbats. The Banelings are very, very slow to be added on. Clem looking like he might just overwhelm right here. Oh, he is going to go into the Banelings. Will be forced away into the Medivacs. Oh, a little bit late on the micro there. Nice last-second hold. Those Banelings, if they were about 2 seconds later, I think they all get clicked down by Clem, and I think we might be looking at a 1-0 scoreline here. As it is, Solar survives by the skin of his teeth. But during all this, Clem's second army comes in, snipes that 4th base.
Keeping the Zerg back on 3 bases is going to be one of the tasks for Terran here. Not letting that Zerg economy grow uncontrollably. 4th base is going to be retaken at this triangular position here. Looks like Clem... No, that is not a 4th base. No, there we go. Of course, just as I said, 4th base goes down now for Clem. Just slightly ahead. This 4th base might get canceled again. It won't this time. The Lings will be there to save it.
Something I didn't notice, and neither did Solar. He forgot his +1 melee with that first upgrade setup, and that is a huge mistake right there. That's going to really, really cost him in these small skirmishes where Banelings cannot overwhelm a force. Gonna cause some really big problems, and that's also going to mean the 2-2 timing of Clem is even more potent and deadly than it normally would be.
Yeah, Clem moving out with the next army. Drilling Claws is nearly finished. 2-2, about 3/4 of the way done. Got a little bit of a drop here. That does get cleaned up by Solar. Solar's creep spread is also a little lackluster here. I would like to see it much further out. It isn't that far out from the bases. He's not able to see those pushes coming in.
Yeah, and that's been a testament to what Clem's been doing. I love what Solar tried to do right there, dropping the Queen. Oh, a nice little counterattack coming on in here. Clem is going to be able to deal with it, but 7 SCVs going down, that's the kind of damage Solar needed to find. However, dealing with this Bane push is going to be a big problem. The creep spread is not quite enough to let those Banelings connect. We do have a nice concave of Hydras, a really nice concave. Is it going to be enough? Well, he'll get a good fight, but there's not enough to actually keep the Hydras alive now.
Well, even if with this cleanup here, he loses pretty much all his Hydras here. Just cleans up the final tank right there. Lost 3 tanks, 14 Hydras going down. That is brutal, especially considering he's probably going to go into the Lurker phase a little later in the game. Those Hydras are also super gas intensive.
Yeah, and it's important to note that you have to survive to get up to that Lurker phase, and Clem takes a great fight. Unfortunately, just before his 2-2 finished, but it was still a good fight nonetheless. Oh, the Baneling, the mine drag into some of that bio. Is it enough, though? I don't think so. There's not anything to tank for these Hydras. They don't have the +2 carapace. It just now finishes up, and 2-2 stimmed bio is going to shred everything. Clem. I think it's just that hatch first.
Is it hatch first? Okay.
I think so. Yeah, nothing too crazy. To be honest, this is actually this is something that I think is maybe maybe Clem's, if you could say he has a weakness, maybe a weakness of his, is that he doesn't do stuff like proxy 2 racks very frequently. He doesn't try and mix things up too much with his opening build orders. And honestly, I think that's totally fine. But it does kind of lead to him being a little bit predictable, maybe. Now, it also makes him that much more terrifying because, you know, you don't necessarily need a proxy 2 racks when you're as good as Clem.
Exactly. When you have the skill, when you have the talent to just overwhelm your opponent, kind of like what we saw Clem do in that previous game, you don't need to cheese. You don't need to proxy.
No.
Not to take anything away from players that do, proxy 3-gate, cough, Maru. But... And who knows? We might see that TVT matchup. It's a very high possibility. We might see Maru versus Clem here.
Yeah, and Maru has a ludicrous win rate in TVT these days. It's so funny because TY was the TVT bonjour, the TVT god, for such a long time. And then he went to the military, and Maru has, snatched that mantle up off the ground and kind of taken it and said, no, I'm the TVT master now. And it's going to be interesting to see if Clem and Maru match up. Will he be able to get anything done? A nice little denial on the creep spread, or the creep tumor snipe right there. Clem very close to picking that off. Not getting too greedy, though. Not getting too greedy.
No, and we do have an opportunity to see some TVT in this group itself today. We do have, I believe, Cure a little later on today.
Yes, Cure versus Dark is going to be right after this. So regardless of who we get, it is going to be an incredibly good match. Me, myself, I would not complain if it was ZBT all the way through.
Yeah,
because that, everyone knows it's the one of the most exciting matchups. Are we guaranteed to get that? Absolutely not. Do I hope we do? Yeah. Raven build, by the way. What do you think? Oh, the fake cloak.
With that fake cloak there, he's going to prepare for the Banshees. But will that Overlord live long enough to actually see that Raven pop? It's only one Marine going after it from what I saw there.
I think it was going to go down, and I'm pretty sure... Yeah, there's no flashing on the minimap. I'm pretty sure it did go down. So a nice little fake out right there. That is going to force Spore Crawlers that Solar doesn't want to go for. That being said, maybe he did he see the Raven pop out? Because he's not building those spores just yet. And he did get caught. There they are. I was going to say, he got caught last game with his spores even late by like 3 seconds, and it cost him a couple drones.
All right, Raven will pop here. Solar will see that, so he now knows there are no Ravens coming. He actually cancels the spores.
Yep. Honestly, I think Clem, that's a bit of a mistake from him. He should have hid that Raven for just a little bit longer. Now, that's like some pretty advanced calculus right there to be like, okay, I know the spores for the Zerg should finish up at this timing, but that would have been a really, really nice move if he could have done so.
All right, Hellions going to peek in here, try to get a little damage done. They, do a little hurt to a couple of the queens. They are able to reflect that. Hellions will rotate around. They will be able to potentially jump right into the main here, clearing up quite a bit of the creep thanks to that Raven there. A couple auto turrets. Nope, one auto turret finally coming down here.
Losing that Raven is a big deal, but now the Lings are in some big trouble, and the Queen's getting held off by those auto turrets. Now the run by will come on in. A nice Evo chamber block. 5 drones have gone down so far. Clem, he's kind of cornered a little bit by these Queens, but he can slip on out. Oh, no, he can't. Solar with a nice wraparound. Very nice defense.
All right, this is the Solar that I am used to seeing and loving. Trade definitely heavily in favor of Solar there. Minerals are somewhat even, but it is those gas-heavy units that he lost. Now, a double medevac drop incoming with about, let me take a quick count here, 12 Marines. Caster can count sometimes. Gonna drop and take out that Overlord. Will be able to scout this coming in. Stim, I believe, hasn't finished up.
Oh yeah. Stim's done. Combat shields is on the way. I love what Solar is trying to do with these creep drop overlords, trying to get his creep as far advanced as possible, knowing you need that little extra edge against such a high caliber ZVT player in Clem. He hasn't really been able to make it happen yet, but I love the idea. I love that he came in with just a little extra, a little something extra. Even though it's a very small difference, having 1 or 2 extra sets of creep tumors can make a huge difference against a player of Clem's caliber.
And we totally saw that last game when creep spread was lacking, wasn't able to get the surrounds on the tanks, wasn't able to properly engage a lot of those units. A lot of the Lings died before they got to the Marines. Having that creep spread really does help get those surrounds and do all the Zergy things that Zerg is known for.
Yes, absolutely. I just want to point out, by the way, look at how perfectly, like we're used to Stim and our combat shields in 1-1 timing out well. They were literally down to the millisecond. They were all finished up at the exact same moment. Clem starting up that +2 weapons. Of course, he'll need a little bit more gas for... Oh, never mind. There he goes. He starts it up. +2 armor as well. So easy to forget that second upgrade when you don't have the gas. By the way, some great Baneling snipes as well. And another kill on the 4th base. Similar to the previous game. Counterattack from Solar. Not going to be able to get it done. This is just going to be a lot of lost units. Doesn't even get the 1 tank. Oh, man.
That
and now
tank just barely surviving there.
Yeah, 12 kills on that. Going to get repaired on up. And Clem... This is why he doesn't proxy 2 racks. This is it. We're seeing it in action.
He just doesn't need to.
Yeah.
And Clem has done, again, a great job of keeping the creep back. That Raven early in the game with the Hellions did a great job of making sure creep doesn't get too far out. Going to come in with a double drop into the main base here.
Yeah, he's going to see if he can find a little bit more damage. He's just doing Clem things right now. He's gained the momentum advantage, and we know how dangerous of a player Clem is when he's got that momentum. And he is just not going to take his foot off the gas until one of them dies.
It looks like this time around, Solar is going for that quicker infestation pit. It looks like he's going to go for a quicker hive here. Get those lurkers out. There we go. Hive starting up. Gonna probably see the hive lurker den coming down relatively soon here.
Yeah, it's gonna be another attempt to survive. This time he is in a better position overall. Ooh, the Widow Mines are gonna try and burrow. 2 of them getting sniped before the shots can get off. Nice job from Solar. He doesn't have any Hydra speed. Another counterattack getting blocked. Great moves from Clem. Does distract him, though, and will allow some Banelings to get some decent connections. But the army from Clem is going to be able to split back and will take care of most of Solar's force. I don't know if there's enough for Solar to hold on now.
Yeah, Solar's kind of getting into that situation again where he is able to hold off a wave or 2, but there's no reinforcements to hold off the next wave coming from Clem. This is like worse than tower defense games. It just doesn't stop. There is no wave 1, wave 2. It's just one continuous. You have a mine. Beautiful Baneling hits there. We do have a mine taking out 11 workers, I believe, at that 3rd base location, and I don't believe that mine's been... There we go. The mine finally does get cleaned up. 2 mines here at that 3rd base, about to go off again, potentially.
Yeah, looks like a very nice last-second cleanup right there from Solar. But Clem still has this position. These rocks are so dangerous to fight around when the Terran player can set up behind him. And they do go off again. 10 more drones falling. And now Solar's the one who's down in workers. That is a really big problem when Clem has so much pressure on his opponent. And Drilling Claw's about to finish up.
I think Clem right now has more mines than any other unit on the map. Gonna come in here, fighting in this choke, not taking the best trades. So we do have 2 Vipers incoming. I'm not too sure how the Vipers will be able to help much in this situation, other than maybe getting a parasitic bomb and taking care of the 1 tank in the back. But while all this is happening, it's not letting let Solar really go up that tech tree.
No, not at all. And we do see the resources lost heavily in favor of Clem right here. Not too surprising for ZVT, but just a testament to how good his micro is. And it's why he's able to compete at this world-class level. It's just the trades. The trades are always so efficient from Clem. And he's so good at that. We are going to see him start to transition into those ghosts, kind of preempting this lurker transition. Nice transfuses right there from Solar. Solar doing a good job of holding on. And parasitic bombs, not quite going to be enough to kill off these medevacs. And Clem says, you know what, I kind of want to get out of here. He's going to be able to drop down at this base. Will keep these Marines alive. But I think Solar is stabilized enough to send this into a late game scenario.
Yeah, he still hasn't started making any lurkers. I don't think he has a lurker den yet at all either. I haven't seen that pop up on the production tab. Ghosts are out now. Push coming in again at this choke here. We do have a drop in the main base ready to go at any moment. Looks like we missed a bit of a Baneling connection there. He's still stuck in that Lurker, sorry, not Lurker, Ling Bane Hydra phase.
Yeah, I think at this point he must have forgotten the Lurker Den, because he has the gas for it. He's got to be able to get up into it, but he's not doing so. He's just trying to hold with this Ling Bane Hydra for now, and especially as 3-3 finishes up here for Clem, and as the ghosts start to become added on into the mix, as that fourth base economy really kicks in for Clem, it's going to be such a big problem. We are seeing Solar trying to break here. Oh, the siege tanks will kind of eat some friendly fire Widowmine shots, 2 of them getting cleaned up, but here comes Clem on the right side with a force that is too big to deal with this small Ling Bane force. Nice target fire on those Banelings. That is going to be causing some big problems here for Solar. Oh.
There we go. Lurker Den just going down right now. I think he just realized the Lurker Den wasn't there. Those Vipers took quite a bit of damage there. It looks like they flew through some of the Widow Mines.
Yeah, they're kind of being left alive right here. Looks like the chaos is being a little bit too much. I think that Bioforce may have stayed on creep a little bit too long and potentially gotten cleaned up, and now the supplies are a lot more even here.
And I think he did end up losing those 2 Vipers. He is building 2 more here. Gonna come in. Clem gonna come in again. Gonna try to take out this base. Good pre-splits.
Oh, that was a huge mind drag right there from Solar on top of that bio. But is there enough? The Lings are mostly gone, and you do not want to fight off creep with this. That being said, the Hydras, the numbers are pretty large. But yeah, as the retreat comes on in, the Ghost Snipes can become a real big problem. Fortunately, those Hydras were able to disengage before they got in range, but now here come the Snipes. Oh, that's like about 4 or 5 dead Hydras right out of the gate.
All right, gonna come in for another engage here. Lurker Den, oh, beautiful, a little bit of friendly fire there. The Lurkers are gonna start morphing in relatively soon, but we don't have any Lurker upgrades yet. The first Lurker upgrade just starting right now. Solar is really behind here, I think, on upgrades. He hasn't gone to Clem's side of the map in a while, and every time he has gone to Clem's side of the map, that run by has been cleaned up.
Yeah, and it looks like we are going to see an attempt to re-engage right here. Clem getting caught on a stumbling retreat right there, losing a fair number of units. How many ghosts went down is my question right there. I think it was quite a few, because there was at least 6 or 7 in that force, and now I only see 3 of the remaining initial forces right there. +3 melee completing. Very interesting decision to go for melee before Carapace. Normally you want that Carapace upgrade to affect all the Zerg units first.
Absolutely. Snipe's going to come down here on 3 of the drones. Clem just trying to do his best to keep that economy down for the Zerg. He's still on 5 bases here. Hasn't taken another base. Can't take a 6th base. Has a mine there doing its thing. That Lurker there will be sniped to hell. Another push coming in here. Ooh. That one ghost does get yoinked to its death.
Yeah, nice little yoink. Oh, and another one. Oh, I like how he's using these Vipers right here. That is a very cool
God.
move. Oh, man,
Jumping on top of this 3rd base here, on top of some of that production. Gonna take out a lot of workers, taking out that tank as well. Forcing a lift off here. First real bit of damage we're seeing Solar do to Clem.
And it is critical damage right there. Oh, man. Some very dangerous splits right there, but managing to get them done, to get those Lings away from the mass Widowmine splash. Clem desperately trying to micro back and avoid this around. Planetary Fortress will provide a lot of safety here, but there's so many Banelings. Oh, and that is going to be a dead base and a lot of dead SCVs. Clem with a hot pickup, but 23 workers are going to fall.
GG gets called. We're going to game number 3.
Whoa.
I bet you the Terran Dominion backs up their stuff on Black Blaze.
If they had, they certainly would have had a better time. That's for sure. You know, people don't talk about the cyber warfare. That was really the, you know, we didn't get any missions about cyber warfare, but I guarantee that was the turning point of the war. You know, maybe the Dominion survives. Yeah.
What if that's what the hybrids were for? The Amon hybrids, kind of able to like tap into the computers and
kind of a Matrix situation.
Yeah. Or like Cyborg from Justice League.
Yes. Yeah. I think that would have definitely given them a better opportunity, even better if they had been Backblaze enabled.
So this show match we got coming today. It's between, like we mentioned, Special and Astrea. It's actually a fundraiser. And how is it a fundraiser? How is a fundraiser, Steadfast, in a show match? How do you do a fundraiser?
Well, you you raise funds, but it is going to be for the American Red Cross, and that is pretty cool. It's I'm sorry, I didn't know where you were going with that. I didn't have the.
So the way we're going to fundraise here is you actually help the players cheat. For every $5 you're going to donate to the American Red Cross through the Matcherino, and you identify which player you want, that player is going to get 100 minerals. So if you go right now to the Matcherino page and donate $25 to, say, Special, he starts the game off with, how many extra minerals is that? 500?
That's going to be 500 extra minerals. So there, if we get enough donations, like, to start things off for the first game, you could have players starting with, like proxy, 8 racks, like just building a ludicrous number of production structures at the beginning, and then it could be very funny because they might make certain decisions expecting more donations, and then it's dry and they can't use it.
Exactly.
So I'm very excited to see how that's going to shape up, and a very cool way to kind of give back. And 100% of donations, I believe, will be going to the Red Cross. So that's going to be fantastic.
And each game, so it's a best of 5. All 5 maps will be played. Maps number 2, 3, 4, and 5 is actually, we don't know yet what that money amount will be. So it won't necessarily always be $5 for 100 minerals. It might be $5 for 50 gas, $5 for 200 minerals. Who knows? This is all Alpha X's Sushi's brainchild, and he is a madman, and we'll see what he comes up with.
Yes, we will. And speaking of things to come up with, we are seeing a very fast third command center out of Clem, and it is going to be a quick second barracks with this. So this is kind of a 2-1-1 after 3 CC. He is building a couple of Hellions. How many Hellions he's going to go for? Looks like 4 is going to be the magic number, and then he'll swap that up. So could see potentially Hellbats with this. Probably not. Probably just going to be a little bit of pressure on those Hellions to kind of keep the build from being told. You don't want to be too blatant with what it is you're doing, but there's going to be a couple medevacs and probably about 12 to 14 Marines showing up in at about that 5:30 mark.
Starport about to finish up here for our Terran player. Zerg getting the double Evo chamber. It's relatively early for that, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a very quick Evo, double Evo first. So going to allow him to get into the mid game with some really, really great upgrades. But of course, it can leave you a little bit vulnerable. You don't have Baneling speed right away. You don't have, you don't have a quick layer to deal with if there's Cloak Banshees. Of course, you can get Spore Crawlers, but you don't have that mobile detection. So it gets you something, but it costs you something else.
All right, Stem finishing up here for Clem. He is getting his double engineering base as well. They're about to finish up right there, so he'll get into those upgrades as well. +1 melee and carapace starting up for Solar. So it's going to be another Ling Bane focused game from Solar, whereas no roaches, interestingly, we've seen. No roaches at all.
Yeah, no, that's more of a, I feel like that's more of a darker rogue
thing.
Yeah. We don't see that very much. We only recently saw it for the first time, I feel, from Cyril recently in some of his EVTs in the last couple of months. He has been one of those players who's pretty much exclusively played Ling Bane. Solar, I feel like he shies away from the roaches definitely more than his Korean counterparts there. Now, we are going to see that drop showing up on the right side here. Baneling's morphing on in. They will not have Bane speed. That layer is going to be very, very late. And look at that. This is the 3rd game in a row now that base has been killed or canceled.
All right, he's going to pick up and drop into the main base here. Lings will jump on this just as they're unloading, will force another pickoff and get on out of there with those medevacs.
Oh my god, Clem hasn't lost anything. Wow. I mean, there hasn't been much action, but still.
Yeah, you would have thought at least one of those Marines would have been picked off on that drop there. Picks up again and will get on out of there.
Yeah, nice job zoning this out with those queens, with the late Bane speed, and with Clem's ability to target fire. This is a dangerous situation. This is something that you don't expect to get out of hand, but it very easily could when it's Clem in the driver's seat with those Marines. And Solar even overbuilding Banelings a little bit just to really make sure he has enough, and I like that.
Yeah, he's got caught a couple times with not having the Banelings ready or essentially throwing all his Banelings away and not having reinforcements ready. We do have the Hydra Den finishing up, so it's going to be the exact same build we've seen from Solar the last couple games here. And it looks like a second factory is coming down here for Clem, with Armory finishing up as well, so we'll get into those +2/+2 as soon as +1 finishes up, which is now.
Yeah, we do have Solar setting up for another counterattack. He hasn't been able to make anything happen with these. I like that Clem is keeping those Hellions at home in order to deal with some such counterattack as well. I don't think Clem has lost anything even still. I'm pretty sure he still kept everything alive. Ooh, a couple of the Queens getting very far off creep, but they will stay alive.
For now.
For now, yeah.
For now. Drilling Claws starting up here. Pumping out 9 Marines at a time, getting a 4th command center here. Groove Spine upgrades coming up for Solar, getting those +2/+2 Carapace melee as well. And he is going up to a 5th base here. That gets cancelled and reapplied.
Yeah, nice job from Clem. Just not overcommitting to anything. He's already got that 4th command center just about done. Oh man, great transfuse right there from Solar. Last second, able to keep that alive. And it is important to note that this one is played on US West. They have switched back and forth. Ooh, nice snipes on those Banelings. So gonna be ping-ponging between the servers in order to get as much fair and balanced ping as possible. We're doing the best we can, obviously. Yeah. It's COVID.
It's COVID, it's online, it's not an offline event. Hopefully, King of Battles 3, hopefully, if we'll be offline, maybe. We'll see.
Ooh, nice Baneling snipes again from Clem. God, he is so dangerous. You give him 16 Marines and a couple medevacs, and he will deliver you the world.
I would love to see Clem in the micro practice thing for Terrans with the Banelings.
Oh, the split. Yeah.
That base getting canceled yet again. This time the drone will get taken out, and this is a huge force coming in here. Pre-splits nicely done by Clem.
Yeah, this could be a little bit dangerous, though, with the anti-timing right here. 2-2 about to finish up for Solar. And Clem, a lot of his units are kind of on creep. He is, of course, waiting for that to dissipate. Banelings do move forward. They clear out the first starting set of Marines. Clem, really important that he waits for this 2-2. And, instead of reinforcing the main push, he's going to attack on the right side here.
All right, you're gonna keep poking in and out, Those one of those mines does do quite a bit of friendly fire there, but we do have the push from Clem coming out from the south here. Gonna clear up a bit of creep. Solar will split off. Might get another. Nope, doesn't quite get that base there, but he did eat quite a bit of friendly fire there from that mine.
Yeah, that was a really, really nice job right there from Solar to force that friendly fire. Unfortunately for him, it didn't kill any of the Marines, just got them all softened up. So basically, it only ends up being medevac energy. But he has been doing that consistently throughout the series, trying to get those mine drags, and that is a really, really difficult skill to acquire. We are seeing the splits from Clem. He's trying to fight off creep. Tank will get enveloped and taken out. There is another one behind this. Clem just continuing to trade well, but not well enough to overwhelm his opponent.
All right, that Ghost Academy is about to finish up here, but the first Lurker upgrade's finished up, and we already have 2 Vipers out on the map. So Solar a little further ahead this time around than last game. This base will go down here. Mine's going to focus here. Nice hit there, taking out a good chunk of the Lings. Base does go down here.
Yeah, this is really interesting. Once again, so this was a decision, not a mistake. Once again, we're seeing the +3 melee in lieu of that +3 carapace. And I'm curious about Solar's decision-making process there, because it has been the prevailing thought experiment, the prevailing style to go for that +3 carapace. So I'm really curious to see that if we end up getting an interview with him. I'd love to ask. Nidus Worm is going to be coming down. In the late game, Lurkers in a Nidus Worm, if you can get them into an opponent's main base, that can just be the death of a Terran.
All right. We still continue to have mine production here from Clem, so he doesn't have many tanks out. Oh no, oh no, 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 not like this, not like this! Oh! Does survive, just barely.
Yeah, but you're going to want to transfuse that up. That's a full, two full energy Vipers. Absolutely, potentially game-changing units right there. Queens are going to get found on the bottom side, kind of on their own. Ooh, interesting. He's not going for the Nidus Worm in the main. He's looking to just kind of... Where is that on the minimap, actually?
I don't see it. There it is. It's actually just looks like below his fifth base there.
Oh, yeah, so he's kind of using it to ferry over, like, the high ground location. He's not going to be able to get through that just yet. Finally, the first lurkers, I believe, are starting to morph.
One lurker does get canceled.
Oh,
we do have a few lurkers on the north side there. They're going to come in. I believe another lurker is about to finish up morphing there.
Yeah, Clem's got to get out of there, right? He does not want to get caught against those rocks. Will retreat, staying a little bit longer than I kind of expected him to. Oh, man, he's got to be so careful. He cannot keep pushing up this ramp with those lurkers on the high ground.
Clem does go back into the main base there. Does take a nice yoink on that one tank. That tank does go down.
Oh, the resources lost is insane. 425 units to less than 100 in terms of units lost.
Are we going to see 100 go down here? Who's going to be the 100th unit? 100 unit gets a candy.
gets a proper funeral. They don't just get left to die. Oh, the drones. Are they going to trigger the Widow Mine? Oh, don't think so. We are seeing that location kind of getting secured here from Solar. I wonder if Solar... I think he's just... Yeah, he hasn't really done anything with that Nidus network.
Yeah, it's just kind of there.
Yeah, it looks like the Widow Mine might have been that 100th unit to go down.
Rest in peace, Widow Mine. Although it's a mechanical unit, so it doesn't really matter.
Oh, another great mine drag right there. God, Solar has been really on point with this. Once again, not really securing him anything. I would love to see a couple of tanks on that location. The only thing is, of course, you got to be careful about abducts, but then you can get the EMP enhanced shockwaves upgrade to try and hold that siege location from kind of across the chasm. You know what I'm saying?
You know what lesson Clem might learn here?
What's that?
If you get a little too close to the sun, you might get burnt.
Ah, you don't want to get solar flared.
No, no. I'm here all weekend, guys. I'm here all weekend. The jokes will not stop. Got a drop coming here beautifully. Like you're mentioning, the tanks there denying mining at that base. Drop will come in and further deny. Might try to take that base out. Would like to see that. There we go. A couple of the Marines jumping out back there. Another Nidus Swarm coming down middle of the map, just outside of that sensor tower range. This base will eventually go down here.
Yeah, this is a pretty nice pickoff. It's kind of a free pickoff when you have influence on that location. God, watching Ghosts use their normal like attack is so funny. Oh, look at that. Nice job. He clears out the one Nidus Worm and will find the second one before it can pop. Well done. Well done.
All right, we'll clear up these rocks. Allow for more attack pass here. Allow for those surrounds. Another Nidus Worm here getting picked up. At this point, the Nidus Worm is just more so a nuisance, keeping Clem back a little, making sure he doesn't get a base full of lurkers.
Oh, we're gonna see an attempt to wrap around on this. Will force a hot pickup right there. No parasitic bomb or abduct on those medevacs just yet. Pretty big. Oh, that Viper really wanted a parasitic bomb or abduct right there.
Oh, this might be dangerous. This might cause a little bit of a trouble to Clem here. Both players are maxed out. They are itching for a bit of an engagement, but they don't want to take a bad engagement here.
Oh, and it looks like that Nidus Worm will pop. We've got another one coming down in the main base. Did that one in the natural get cleaned up? No, it did not.
Wow.
Oh, man, that's a lot of lurkers out into your natural expansion, and that is going to be really tough. There's kind of a natural choke around this. Oh, but as the ghosts come back, he decides, yeah, I don't want to lose 8 lurkers. But it will open up the main frontal attack path for this Lingbane Hydra. And a beautiful parasitic bomb on those medevacs. They are really clumped up right here, taking a lot of damage. And Clem will boost on out, but he's going to need to repair those up, and he will be able to do so. Solar really putting the pressure on, but that one tank is going to clear these out over and over again, so it's kind of just a waste of minerals.
Clem is just starting up Ghost Cloak right now. which I thought that would have been done by now. +3 carapace just finishing up now for our Zerg player. +2 range also finished up here. Another Nidus Swarm coming in. We're in the natural base. This will get cleaned up yet again.
Yeah, this is very annoying. This is keeping Clem back. But that being said, Glittering Ashes is a gigantic map. It is hard to kind of take advantage of that. We saw, there's so many command centers on the map right now, and I love that Clem is building planetary fortresses in, like, kind of important choke points. He has one around his 4th base. He's got one there out in front of that kind of, I guess you would call that, like, the pocket 5th?
Yeah.
In the middle?
Yeah. Kind of like a peninsula 5th.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it, yeah.
Peninsula. All right, another engagement coming in here. Bane's little indecision. They're going to lose a lot of Banes for nothing.
I think that was the right call to pull back. He did lose a lot, but it was better than losing everything and maybe killing a tank. Oh, we are going to see the Blinding Cloud and a big bust coming in on this planetary. That will go down. Is that worth it? Yeah, probably. It depends how many units he loses on the retreat, but he's going to get out with most of his units. So yeah, I would say that was pretty good. Oh, does get a nice little pick off on a tank. Loses 1 or 2 lurkers. Yeah, relatively speaking.
2 tanks and a ghost. It's okay.
Still, on the resources lost, it still goes in favor of Clem. But that's going to be expected in TVZ. It's going to come down to those. As it is right now, it looks like this could be a very, very, very long game, and it could come down to those 4 bases on the corners there.
We do have Infestors coming out now. We've got the Infestor upgrade about to finish up. So I think the Infestor Bane dream is real, or Infestor Lurker dream is real here.
Ooh, nice little catch on this Bioforce right there, but Clem will be able to fight his way out of the surround. He is going to have a bit of a difficult time retreating. Nice Blinding Cloud right there to shut down that tank. The Lurkers do kind of siege out of range. I like that Clem is sniping Overseers right there. Solar does have a lot of them. Oh, this Lurker getting some big spines. Nice just singular burrow right there. Clem will spam out those snipes, going to be able to take that down. But Solar picks off a base.
That's the second base Solar's not picked off. Most of the action now has been on Clem's side of the map, not on Solar's side, which is kind of a
reversal
of what we saw earlier in the game. Burrowed Banelings now. The dream drop coming in here. This base has gone down, I believe, twice now. Another drop coming here will take out a few workers, but Solar will react.
Clem trying to hit in multiple places at once, saying, I'm taking the tempo back in this game. Once again, sniping a couple drones. Kind of a cute little move, but Solar keeps the base alive, which is a big deal right there. That's, as it is, so I was talking about that super late game scenario. Solar hasn't given up on the idea of killing Clem. He still wants to kill Clem. He is not resigned to a late game scenario just yet. And picking off bases is going to kind of force that if Clem were able to do so to Solar. So Solar keeping that alive is very important for his dreams of finishing this game before we get into a real, true split map scenario.
All right, another drop coming in here. That Spore will actually save this along with the Lurker. We've got another big push coming in here. That tank will get cleaned up. Widowmine not getting the best hits. Infestation, Blinding Cloud's coming down. Another tank going down.
Go ahead. Oh, that was a really nice engagement from Solar. Setting up from multiple angles right there, coming in, and will allow him to, yeah, he's going to take down that base. That is going to go down. We are going to see Solar's just kind of, he's just kind of maneuvering around to buy himself a free hand against that base. Oh, but here come the ghosts. The Banelings are going to try and connect on top of them. Not going to be able to get enough connections. And we see the snipes just absolutely coming out en masse right there. I'd love to see the battle report and see how many snipes were casted. It's got to be like 25. How many? 90 snipes.
Holy shit.
Oh my god. Versus 2 consumes. Jeez, that's the most snipes I've ever seen. I don't. Oh.
Another nice form coming in here on the bottom right corner. Now Solar has taken his top left corner base. It looks like it will go down again.
Oh. I mean, it doesn't kill ghosts anyways, but so underwhelming. 6 drones are going to fall as well as the base. That made me... Oh, meanwhile, actually attack coming through the middle of the map. Solar says, I'm not going to lose a base for free here. Clem will have a bunch of these ghosts going down. Oh, he will cloak up, and no, all of them are going to fall. Clem going to lose a lot of units here. Both players really depleting their banks. Oh, this is getting incredibly tense. So much for that split map scenario. Solar killing a lot of SCVs as well. Both players' economies are going to be suffering heavily here.
He does kill a lot of SCVs, but the Terran army does have the almighty mule, the great equalizer there, which makes the worker redundant. So, not a really big loss for Clem.
Yeah, he is going to be rebuilding 7 SCVs at a time. He wants to get up to a healthy count once again. 3 tanks in production as well. He's actually, something we haven't mentioned is that Clem has continued his upgrades for those tanks all the way through. Ooh, this is a nice little bit of harass coming in here. And Solar, hold the phone. He's also going to go through the middle of the map. Will find that base once again. He is doing an excellent job of splitting Clem apart. Going to find 4 tanks in total here. The ghosts in the corner will keep this those last 2 tanks from getting taken out. But man, Solar is really, really on top of Clem right here, not giving him any quarter and really keeping that aggressive Zerg style going.
Now, my only worry for Solar here is, and I've seen this in the past with him, is he does take a lead here. It's like this. He does use up his bank, and he doesn't have the gas to finish the game off. He does need to, I really do think he needs to finish Clem off here. Otherwise, it might swing back the other way.
Yeah, we can see that resources lost 18,000 in favor of Clem right here. And that's basically, that's more than a full base. That is a real big problem if he can't, as you say, finish him off right here. That being said, he just picked off a lot of orbital commands, a lot of bases. A lot of Clem's mining is really struggling right here. But Clem, he's also securing this base, and then we see the scan is going to take down those burrowed banes. Always, even if it's only for 6 or 7 Marines, always use those burrowed banes if you get the opportunity. Like get some value out of them, you know? But yeah, we will see +3 weapons finishing up in a moment. Solar is going to move forward here. There's not a lot to protect these ghosts. That's a lot of Lingbane Hydra.
All right, we'll come crashing and take out a lot of that tank up front, but those ghosts, snipes coming down, taking out Overseers and a bunch of Hydras. This base will eventually go down to these 3 Marines and, what is that, 8 medevacs?
Yeah, that was actually incredible from Clem. I thought for sure he was going to lose a lot of ghosts right there. Didn't lose hardly any. He lost like maybe 2 ghosts, and that now look at the army supply. Solar is like struggling to max out again. His mineral income is huge, but he actually doesn't have any mineral bank. He's spent all of his gas bank. He prioritized fully on minerals to try and equalize that out. Clem is still kind of fighting to secure this base on the bottom side. Solar finally adding on some infestors right here, but I don't think he's going to kill Clem anymore. I don't think it's going to happen, and I think it's... I think at this point, if he keeps trying as aggressively as he has, he is going to potentially attack himself out of this game.
Yeah, it's something I've seen Solar do quite a bit, and like I mentioned earlier, it is something I am concerned about for him. He has taken pretty much all but 1 base on his side of the map. He's even taken that bottom right base, which should belong to Clem. He does need to retake that top right base. Right now, mineral income, gas income... mineral income is in favor of Solar, gas income in favor of Clem.
Yeah, it's once again, it's Solar kind of prioritizing not taking those gases, but that means so he had like a 3K gas bank. It's all gone now. Now he does need to start mining gas again, and it's. I think he should really focus on mining those forward bases. Mine the gases out, so that bottom right 2 bases right there. There's only 1 gas geyser on one of them, but on the one that's the really exposed base for him, really make sure you prioritize that gas. I think that's very, very important. We are seeing Solar trying to resecure that top side, what would you call that, like the 10:30 base, 11 o'clock base?
It's about the 10:45 base.
10:45 base, yeah. Ooh, fungal growth on, if those EM, or those, look at that, he's going to find it. Oh, very unfortunate for Solar. The Lurker giving away the position on the Infestor. That's a big mistake.
And at the last minute, the Infestor does go down. Nearly made it to the safety line. Doesn't quite get there.
Yeah, it was so close to getting away, but not quite going to be able to do so. Looks like we are going to see Clem taking down this base, and you might think, hold the phone, there's actually going to be a big attack through the middle. Looks like we are going to see a It's just pure chaos. The ghosts on the top side are going to remain untouched. That one tank somehow surviving. Some big exit snipes right there coming on in. And Clem, he is now... God, he's got to be so far ahead in that resources loss, even more so than before.
And look at the supply count. Clem is still near maxed out. Solar has dropped quite a bit there. Solar did crash a lot of those banelings into that planetary commands. Oh, ghosts. Sorry, nukes.
You gotta feel like Solar something like just a shiver up his spine.
There's no brood lords on the map, so it's okay. There's no brood lords.
And this is a very bad map for broodlords, to be perfectly honest, unless you can kind of narrow. So if Solar mines out the bottom right side base and turns the one contesting point to that top side, then broodlords maybe become a good option for him. As it is right now, the bases are so far flung from one another, not going to be a good idea to go for those broodlords at all. So
and the other thing I was trying to mention, that earlier engagement with Solar, he crashed a lot of banelings into that planetary fortress, didn't even take it down, instead of going after the ghosts, instead of going after the bio units.
Yeah, it feels so difficult to kind of close the distance on those ghosts. You really need to get a big wraparound on this. Oh, yes. Okay, so here's the thing. Lurker spines cannot actually fire over chasms.
Really?
Yep. They need a surface, a straight line.
Interesting.
So you hear them trying to fire the shot.
Yeah.
Oh, nice snipes come in. We'll take that down. And once again, another Overseer goes down. People don't realize how expensive Overseers are. They're 150-50.
Yeah.
It's not cheap. That's, especially in the late game, if you snipe 3 or 4 Overseers per engagement, that's multiple Lurkers, that's multiple Hydras, that's quite a bit of Ling Bane.
It's almost like 2 Ultras.
Yeah, yeah. Ultras, of course, great snipe bait. They really do a good job of draining those Ultras, or those Ghost energy. 2 more nukes in production. We are going to see Solar trying to flood on in here. He's going to pick off 1 or 2 ghosts there. But we are starting to see, oh man, another tank. I feel like that's been like the 5th or 6th tank we've seen. Just didn't die.
Yeah.
Just did not die when it was fully surrounded.
Another Lurker there getting sniped here. Clem now playing a little early, but he is just coming in, sniping here and there, taking a few high-cost energy units out, and Solar just seems to come crashing in every now and then, and not getting the best engages. So yeah, it's not looking good for Solar here. I'm going to hopefully make the same mistake I made in game number 2 and write Solar off now, but who knows? We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we are seeing both players starting to build a bank. I mentioned before that if you don't kill, if he wasn't going to kill Clem, he needs to chill out. And to his credit, for the most part, he has. He has been looking for, man, again with the tank that doesn't go.
And with the mule to repair.
I love it. I love it.
Absolutely amazing.
Doesn't bother pulling any SCVs, just says, you know what, I've got so many of these orbital commands. God, the name of the game here has been survivability on tanks. But yeah, good job from Solar to really prioritize mining out that one contested base. Oh, and there's the nuke. I do like this. I do like this trying to deny some mining. Oh no, Solar, not like this. Oh, he's got to notice, right?
No, he's like,
okay. He notices. Whew.
All right, Bio will come in here. Tanks will siege up on the high ground. This base will go down.
Ooh, there's a bird infestor there. Oh, and it's dead. It's just gone.
I don't think the infestors have done anything this game. We have this fire coming down at the 30-minute mark. These drones hiding for their dear life.
Yeah, they are going to get trapped here. There is burrow available, but oh nope, the Lings will come in and kind of a reverse saving Private Ryan right there, where the evil Zerg gets them on out. We are going to see potentially the most ineffectual nuke. I didn't point this out. I really like that he's not mining that base. Oh, nice. Does prevent that. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Well done. Solar preventing nukes?
He killing the ghost? Hello? Hello?
I will say, I think this is going to heavily favor Clem as long as he can continue to hold this position. Now we're going to see some nice blinding clouds come down. The EMP's not quite in time to prevent those. Big wraparound on a lot of these tanks. 3 of them going down, but most of the ghosts surviving. We are going to see the big flood in on top of these ghosts, though.
A lot of ghosts do go down there. Tanks will get cleaned up. Bane Link come crashing in. Will push these ghosts really far back, almost to the natural here. Another tank will go down.
Man, great job from Clem to kind of keep those units alive. Solar getting a really, really nice deep run by. Look at that, actually sniping individual Zerglings right there. And look at this, we've got the base being mined by the drones. The command center will fall. That's the funniest little scenario I've ever seen. Like a kind of long distance mining base. Ghost being dropped to try and save these structures, but Solar found that opportunity and will be able to take these down. The Ghost Academy and the Orbital Command. God, so many bases have fallen for both sides.
All right, mineral banks here. Again, Solar depleting most of his mineral bank. Clem does have a decent one. Clem is...
2 Vipers just got sniped.
Totally was not looking at that.
That's well, that's okay. It was just, I saw the shadows. I saw the shadows explode.
All right, what do we have going on here now?
Well, we got an epic TVZ on our hands as well. We've got 32.5 minutes on Glittering Ashes, Sparkling Peaches living up to the hype, and once again, Infestors doing absolutely nothing. They're bullet bait at this point.
No, Infestors are doing one thing. They are using up that gas bank for Solar that Solar really needs desperately here. Another engagement coming in here. All these tanks will get wrapped around, cleaned up, forces the command center up. Gonna come into the natural. Will try to engage here. Not quite. Ghosts and tanks there will push this back.
You know what? I gotta say, Clem he should not be trying to hold this base. He should not be trying to do it. He's gotta know that he's trading so much more efficiently than his opponent, and he's effectively secured the top left. That's the thing is, like, if it gets to a split map scenario, which it basically is, he's already mostly mined out this base on the bottom. He doesn't really need it. He's traded efficiently enough that he's going to be fine as long as he just goes for that topside base. I still think he's in a good position because if we look at the banks right now, Solar's is fully depleted. He has no money in the bank at this point. Clem still does have a bank, still has that army supply lead, and he still is safely mining from the top side. But if he does end up losing this game, it's going to be because he tried to hold this bottom side.
Again, another snipe coming out, taking another lurker out. Each of those lurkers getting sniped is huge.
Those burrowed Infestors. Oh, he wants the flank. The fungal growth's not going to come down.
And both Infestors do get cleaned up there. Another engagement coming in. I think this might be it. Steadfast GG gets called. Clem holding out. Like that co-op mission where you're in the dark. GG gets called. Clem going on to the winners round.